And we're back on the next episode of Hero Comics talking about stuff. This is Hero Comics talking about why Transformers Revenge of the Fallen and the entire Transformers series, Michael Bay Transformers series, were not as good as they could have been. I'll just do three big reasons, in my opinion, why it didn't work. Three big ones. Alright, we're gonna go by names, okay? Names of basically characters who and characters and stuff who basically were not used right. Were not used right was the reason why it, in my opinion, didn't work out so well. Number three, we're gonna go from least to greatest. Okay, least to greatest. Number three, the Fallen. The Fallen should have been the main villain of the story, of at least Revenge of the Fallen. Okay, yeah, its name's in the title, yes. Also, the fact that it basically Optimus Prime has this awesome backstory for the Fallen. It starts off showing off, ancient, Earth with, tribal humans, being like, human, you're talking about humans are a savage race, but so, had our roots, their roots were in savage race, but then, Autobots' roots were also in a savage race, and, different things like that. And, talk about that, and then he said how the Fallen, betrayed his friend, betrayed everybody else, and then, this stuff like this. And it was great. I was liking that. I was like, okay, this is a cool new villain for the Transformers series. We can hook this up. And then it's like, okay, Megatron's back. I'm like, what? And he's the main villain. I'm like, why? We have this Fallen guy. So basically, yeah, what should happen was, then he says stuff about how only a Prime can defeat me and stuff like that. Like on how it should have ended, they said, Optimus, Megatron was like, hey, if you could only be beaten by a Prime, and I just killed Optimus Prime, technically that makes me more powerful than you, doesn't it? He's like, no. I was like, yeah, it does. So what should have happened was the Fallen should have been the main bad guy. The Fallen, Megatron could have come back. That's fine with me. He could have come back, gone to where the Fallen was, and been like, because they need him for the third movie so he can get killed there. So yeah, Megatron could have come back and been like, okay, the Fallen, and then the Fallen's like, then Megatron should have got punished for his failure in the first movie. Should have been like, I will destroy Optimus Prime. You're like, no. You have failed me, Megatron. You will stay here and tend to these our soldiers and whatnot with Starscream. Because he gets hating on Starscream. That's the issue. The dude keeps hating on Starscream. Megatron keeps hating on Starscream and like, you failed me again, Starscream. This thing like that. This should have been This would have been like a nice little thing for Starscream to be like, to chuckle privately, just like, being like, it would have been cool. I had no problem with that at all. But anyway, Fallen should have been main villain, because then it'd be like, hugest thing why the Fallen should have been main villain. It could have, he could have, tortured, he could have tortured and killed Optimus. That would have made sense for Optimus to torture and kill the Fallen. In the version we have, the Fallen, Optimus gets killed by Megatron. Megatron's like, oh yeah, I killed Optimus, and then like later the Fallen comes in there for like 5 seconds. And then Optimus tortures and kills the Fallen, and it's like, well, Optimus, what the heck are you doing, man? That's not right. Why did you do that? So it's like, I would have had no problem with Optimus if the Fallen was like, the Fallen was basically like, you are a shadow of what we once were. Just like knocking him around, just tearing him up, and then he like finished him off, like, now die, with his staff, like, that would have been cool. Because then it'd be like, later when Optimus is like, knocking him around because he's more powerful now. And he's like, give me your face. Okay, this guy killed you. I have no problem with this. No problem with that. Go on, tear that guy up. Go on ahead. That's what I've been like. I would have been fine with me. And this brings me to number two. The number two reason why the Michael Bay Transformers were not as good as they could have been. Number two, Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime in the first movie was the calm, cool, collected leader of the Autobots. Like he was in the show. He was in the show, kind of. I'm sorry, but I wasn't, really the biggest fan of Transformers itself. When I was a kid, I grew up on the Maximals, so sorry. That's the way it was. But anyway, but still, it was like, they were like them, if they were like, the Maximals are based off of Transformers. So basically, I can kind of understand, the leader, the whole thing, the leader being calm, cool, and collected, and, other guys shooting first next question later, and him like, no, usually like that. But, with the Fallen, that's the issue. There should have been a good backstory with him, with Optimus. Optimus could have been like, when he heard the name, the Fallen, it could have been like, hey, on MIB3, You know, it's like, oh, this is personal now. It's personal. The Fallen, the guy that killed my family. No, so then be like, oh, and then it's like, you know, the Fallen, big wheel, as I call him, you know, is just taken down by Optimus. You know, the guy could have said, the Fallen will rise again. He's like, what? The Fallen? Not if I can help it. Boom, you know, there you go. You know, that would have been fine with me, because then it's like, oh, you know, what would then else? And then have someone, another Autobot, maybe even sideswipe himself. I'm like, oh, what'd you do that for? You know, Of course, Sideswipe would not have killed the Decepticon I call the driver. You know, like that. You know, for no reason. The guy was just driving. He didn't do anything. So we're trying to get away from the girl Autobots, who unfortunately were quite useless in the game, in the movie. But anyway. Yeah, he didn't do anything, so I don't understand why Sideswipe just you know, sliced him. If Sideswipe had damaged him so that they could get information from him, and then he was taken into custody, and they could get information from him later, that would have been cool. And then when he said, "Dang, I'm good," you know, that would have been fine right there. But you know, no, he killed the guy. None of us know. In my version, Sideswipe would not have killed the guy. He would have wounded him so he couldn't move. The army would have taken him in and interrogated him later. In this, then you know, someone would have been like, "Hey, well, why'd you do that about this?" You know. This is not like you, you know. They should have said that, you know. There's some people saying that, and it was really like, you know, it's like the Fallen killed my family, betrayed everyone, betrayed my family, killed them, you know, and you know, he was going to destroy the entire Earth. You know, now he's back to get revenge, you know, on all us primes. You know, killed all the primes except for me, you know, or whatever, you know, killed the primes. You know, he sent people out to get. He wants to destroy everything, you know. We're going to destroy them first, you know. You know, it's kill or be killed or whatever. You know, that would have been good. That would have been fantastic. You know, and again, you know, on a side note, you know, as a side note about the rest. Oh yeah, let's just continue. Oh yeah, and this brings us to our number one reason why the Transformers series, was not good. The Michael Bay Transformers series was not as good as it could have been. That is the name Transformers. Okay. The reason why it was not as good, that I did not realize for a very long time, was that the Transformers were not the main characters in the movies at all. I didn't realize this. They were not main characters. The only ones you get to know sort of are Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. You know, the others like Ironhide. Can you explain? Can you tell me what is Ironhide's personality? You know. Sideswipe got one scene. It was horrible in the whole movie, and it was horrible because he just killed some robot and, you know, who wasn't doing anything. You know, the girl Autobots were basically useless. You know, and I'm like, come on, can they only become motorcycles? Couldn't there have been like some tank girls? You know, some Minesweeper girls? Something? Come on, guys. You know, there's just so much wrong with that. You know, the Transformers could have been the main characters. I would have had no problem with, work with me on this, trust me on this one, with Shia LaBeouf playing the voice of Bumblebee, you know, and Bumblebee being the main character of Transformers. All right, he could have been adopted by, you know, basically have Sam as some guy, some, you know, character who doesn't talk much. And, you know, he basically, Bumblebee being, Shia LaBeouf. And he's like, in the car a lot, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, like Spirit, like on Spirit side of the Shimmeron, you know, basically be like, you know, it's like, you know, it's like basically, it's Bernie Mac being like, oh yeah, I only want to, I'm not gonna pay, you know, he's like, I only have $4,000 for this car. And he's like maybe Total guy or something, you know, I only have $4,000 for this car. And he's like, or something like that. But he's like, like, I'm not giving you this car for $4,000. Like, and then Shia LaBeouf as Bumblebee, as Camaro, could have been like, oh yeah, what's this? And then like he does this horn, his horn or whatever, his car alarm, and just breaks all the windows. They're like, you're like, yeah, what do you think now? And it was like, he's like, oh, 4,000, yo. And then he turns into Bumblebee. And, you know, he comes over, he's like, no, you know, the guy's like talking, you know, that would have been so great. I would have loved to see Shia LaBeouf as main character of Transformers, but as a Transformer. Come on. It's about the Transformers. This is about Transformers. All the stuff that's happening is about Transformers. You know, the first movie, the Transformers are hanging out on the planet because they sensed the Matrix, the cube. The second movie, they're hanging out on the planet because the Decepticons are coming down and messing around and causing problems, and the Fallen's coming over. Okay, the third movie, again, renegade Autobots, and Decepticons messing around trying to do all stuff. I have no, they should have been main characters. I have no problem with, say, people having minor roles, soldiers and, Bumblebee's family, being in there, and then be like, give Bumblebee something to fight for, Shia LaBeouf Bumblebee something to fight for, and be like, Shia LaBeouf Bumblebee be like, oh, my family, no, I can't let them destroy my family. That's terrible, that would have been cool, think about it that way, and he could have been one of the ones that says, Optimus, what are you doing, Optimus? This is not the way you normally do things, like the Fallen have, destroyed everything I hold dear, destroyed my family, tried to destroy everything. Ruin the planet. Now he's back. Now he's back to finish his job. To destroy the sun. You're like, oh, right. Okay. I'm locked in. I don't like doing this kind of stuff. I don't want to kill anyone, but these guys are trying to destroy everything we hold dear. Like my family, Sam. Mom, Dad. His girlfriend. Stuff like that. That would have been fine. I would have really liked that. That would have been really cool if the Transformers were the main characters of Transformers. Even in this new one, Age of Extinction, there's a human. Why is there a human as main character? It's Mark Wahlberg, but still, why can't a Transformer be the main character of the movie? That was the biggest problem. I did not realize this for a long time, but now I realize it. It basically puts everything into perspective. The reason why there's not much character development with the Transformers, they weren't the main characters. The reason why they only get there's no person you don't see really remember them, they weren't main characters. It's not like, oh yeah, we couldn't have them as main characters because it's too much. Because it's like it's too hard for us to make them main characters. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. You don't have that excuse. You do not have that excuse to make them main characters like that. You're not making main characters because it's too hard. They did it. Well, you guys did. And it's also, my bus is coming, so I'll see you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt, especially here, of course, Neo on DeviantArt, and Star Wars Until the End Time on YouTube. Yes, I'm still playing that because even though it's annoying, that's all get out with Maria. See you next time.